Hello everyone. Have you ever thought about having a special skill, something you can enjoy for your entire life, something that brings you peace and joy, just for you? For me, that something is music. And I truly believe that learning to play at least one musical instrument is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. For a long time, I admired people who could play instruments. I'd watch pianists on TV, their fingers dancing effortlessly across the keys, creating beautiful sounds. Or I'd see guitarists at a concert lost in their music, making everyone in the room feel something special. I always thought, that looks amazing, but I could never do that. My life was busy with work, hobbies like reading and meeting friends. Music was something I listened to, not something I made. My home was usually filled with silence, or sometimes the sounds of my favorite songs playing from a speaker. It was nice, but it was passive. I enjoyed the music, but I felt like an outsider, just a listener. The idea of actually creating those sounds, feeling the notes under my fingers, seemed like a dream for other people, those with natural talent, or who started learning when they were very young. I often told myself, it's too late for me, I'm not musical. I remember walking past a music store in my neighborhood. The window was filled with shiny guitars, beautiful violins, and a grand piano. I'd pause for a moment, just looking in. The piano always caught my eye the most. Its black and white keys looked so organized, so ready to make a symphony. But then I'd shake my head and continue walking, telling myself it was a complex skill, too hard to learn as an adult. My fingers, I imagined, were too stiff, my brain too slow. My evenings were usually spent relaxing, maybe watching a movie or reading a book. These were pleasant activities, but they didn't really challenge me in a new way. I sometimes felt a little uninspired, looking for something new, a deeper hobby that could stay with me, truly enriching my life beyond simple entertainment. The thought of something for life began to quietly form in my mind. It was during a quiet weekend, feeling this gentle longing for something more, that the idea truly took root. I was listening to a classical piano piece, a beautiful melody that touched my heart. Suddenly a question popped into my head. What if? What if I just tried? It wasn't about becoming a famous musician. It was about connecting with that beautiful sound, about experiencing music in a completely new way. The idea of learning the piano, specifically, started to feel less like an impossible dream and more like a quiet invitation.
That quiet invitation to learn the piano quickly turned into a real challenge. I found a local music school and signed up for beginner lessons. My first lesson was with a very patient teacher named Mr. Tanaka. He had kind eyes and a gentle voice, but when he showed me the sheet music, my heart sank. It looked like a secret code. Black dots on lines, strange symbols, and all these numbers for fingers. I thought, how can anyone understand this? My fingers, which were used to typing on a keyboard, felt stiff and clumsy on the piano keys. When I tried to play a simple scale, just 8 notes going up and down, it sounded terrible. Some notes were too loud, others too soft, and my rhythm was completely off. It felt like my left hand wanted to do one thing and my right hand another. My mind felt like it was trying to juggle 5 balls at once, and all of them kept falling. The beautiful melodies I admired felt miles away, impossible to reach. This was the main conflict, the huge gap between my desire to play and my complete lack of skill. Every day after work, I would try to practice for 30 minutes. It felt like a battle. My fingers would ache, my brain would feel tired, and sometimes the sounds I made were so bad that I wanted to close the piano lid and never open it again. There were moments of real frustration. I would watch videos of other beginners playing simple songs, and they seemed to pick it up so much faster than me. I started to doubt myself. Am I really not musical? I wondered. Is it truly too late for me? One evening, after a particularly bad practice session, I almost gave up. My head was throbbing and my fingers felt like lead. I stared at the piano, and it looked less like a magical instrument and more like a difficult puzzle I couldn't solve. The comfortable routine of watching TV or reading suddenly felt much more appealing. Why put myself through this struggle? But then I remembered the image of those skilled pianists, lost in their music, creating such beauty. And I thought about the peace I felt that weekend when the idea first sparked. Was it possible that this struggle was just part of the process? Mr. Tanaka had told me every great musician started by making bad sounds. The trick is to keep going. His words echoed in my mind. The anticipation wasn't for effortless playing, but for the smallest sign of improvement. I wanted to see if I could push past this wall of difficulty. The stakes felt high. Either I would return to my passive enjoyment of music, or I would embark on a lifelong journey of creation. I decided to give it one more try.
I decided not to give up. I forced myself to sit at the piano for just 15 minutes each day. Even if it sounded bad, my fingers were still clumsy, and reading the music was still like decoding a secret message. But something surprising began to happen. Very, very slowly, my fingers started to remember where the keys were. The notes, which once seemed completely separate, began to connect, forming small, recognizable sounds. This was my major turning point. The moment wasn't grand or sudden. It was a Tuesday evening, after a particularly tiring day at work. I sat down, feeling no energy, just wanting to get my 15 minutes over with. I started playing a very simple song from my beginner's book, a children's melody with only a few notes. My fingers moved, slowly but surely, pressing the black and white keys. And then, for the first time, it didn't sound completely terrible. It was clear. It was correct. It was music. A wave of pure joy washed over me. It wasn't perfect. Not by a long shot, but I had made it. I had created a melody. The sound filled my small room, a clear, sweet tune that I had brought to life with my own hands. My eyes widened, my heart felt light. It was an amazing feeling, far better than any TV show or book. This was the climax of my story, not a big public performance, but a deeply personal moment of success. From that day, something changed inside me. The piano no longer felt like a giant scary puzzle. It felt like a friend, waiting for me to explore its secrets. My practice sessions stopped being a battle and started becoming a time of discovery. I found myself looking forward to them. I started noticing small details in the music I listened to, things I'd never heard before. I could hear the bass line, the harmony, how different instruments spoke to each other. It was like I had been listening to music in black and white my whole life, and now, suddenly, I could hear it in full, vibrant color. This discovery was thrilling. My appreciation for music deepened incredibly. Before, I just heard a song. Now I understood its structure, its emotion, the effort behind each note. My personal playing was still very basic, but my listening skills had become rich and full. The tension of learning, the frustration, had melted away, replaced by a profound sense of wonder and connection. This small victory at the piano keys opened up a whole new world of understanding. I realized that the journey wasn't just about playing, but about truly hearing and feeling music in a way I never thought possible.
From that moment, my relationship with music completely changed. The piano in my room was no longer just a piece of furniture. It became a source of endless joy and a place for quiet reflection. I continued my lessons with Mr. Tanaka, and while I never became a concert pianist, my fingers grew much more confident on the keys. I could now play many simple songs, and even some more complex pieces that once seemed impossible. Each time I played, I felt a deep sense of accomplishment and peace. Beyond the actual playing, my entire experience of music became richer. When I listened to my favorite songs, I didn't just hear the main tune. I could hear the chords, the rhythm sections, and the way different instruments interacted. It was like finally understanding a language I had only heard before. Music, which was always beautiful, became even more so, filled with new layers and meanings. This new depth of appreciation was a wonderful gift, something I could enjoy every day, no matter where I was. Learning the piano also gave me something incredibly valuable, a lifelong hobby. It's a skill that I can always return to, no matter my age or situation. If I'm feeling stressed, sitting at the piano and playing a simple melody can calm my mind. If I'm feeling happy, I can express that joy through music. It's a personal space, a creative outlet that is always there for me. It's a treasured activity that doesn't depend on others or on perfect weather. I learned that the goal wasn't just to play perfectly, but to enjoy the process and to connect with the music. This humble journey, starting from simple curiosity and overcoming early frustrations, led to a much deeper and more meaningful relationship with sound. It filled a quiet space in my life that I didn't even know existed. So if you're looking for a new hobby, something that will stay with you forever, I highly recommend learning a musical instrument. If you don't have a strong preference, the piano is a wonderful choice. It teaches you about music theory, practical playing, and even how to create basic accompaniments. The joy of performing, even just for yourself, is immense. But more than that, it opens your ears and your heart, allowing you to listen to music in a far more profound and beautiful way. It truly is a precious hobby that can enrich your life for years to come.